in this matchup nowadays.
Very versatile opener, and with that early scouts, just it's always key. StarCraft 2, actually both of the StarCrafts really always come down to, okay, how much do you know what your opponent is doing? How good is your read? And that is exactly what Strange is getting in on this. He'll get a very good read on his opponent. Sees just normal hatch, pool gas right here, and heads on out. What I'm really curious to see on this map, as you're mentioning, we do see Strange really favor the French baguette style, 3-base, lots of sentries, lots of stalkers, and I know these players, I'm sure they're prepared for these groups, and I'm curious to see how Namshar is going to react, especially in the round of 16. You've already had a group in the round of 32 to look at it, and there was tons of Protosses and Zergs. Yep. So I'm really curious to see how Namshar is actually going to play against Strange here.
Yeah. So Namshar playing it pretty safe too. He's gone hatch first, but he's getting the gas first, so he'll have his speed a bit faster. He'll be able to get out on the map with his Zerglings, get some map control, that type of thing. Maybe try and prevent a 3rd base, or, at least slow it down a bit for Strange.
Definitely, playing against that back-at style, or whatever style in general, it's not fun to allow your Protoss opponent to get up to that 3rd base. Definitely want to try to deny it. With that early metabolic boost, as you mentioned, he will be able to do that. Strange, though, so far, there finally he will be getting up a little bit of a wall. Or not even a wall, but just a pylon right there.
Yep,
hopefully Strange won't need to worry. Yeah.
Pretty standard pylon positioning. And then he'll probably add the 2 gateways to the side. And then I'm guessing he's actually making a stalker. So that indicates he might want to go for a faster tech, like a Stargate, since a stalker is only 50 gas. Usually, if you're going for a quicker 3rd base, you see a sentry after this. So he is going to go for the Stargate.
I really like how you're pointing out, not only does the Stalker, it's 50 gas, it doesn't cost as much as a Sentry, but it's also just so much easier to kind of push back the Overlords. As you see on the top of Strange Base, he's got an Overlord, or at least Namshar has one, and on the left-hand side, 2 of the natural, but it's just so much easier to kind of force them out and really get a nice tech path with your opponent a little knowingly, or your opponent will have not quite as much information. Won't have the force field, but if you're going Stargate, you're not going to be, I don't think at least, taking as quick as a 3rd base as you would with the other style of Sentry.
Yeah, with the Sentry Expo into, 3rd base, you can get the 3rd base a little bit quicker. But, the good thing about the Stargate is you're going to force out 3 Spore Crawlers from the Zerg. So that's like 3 less drones, like minus 300 minerals, and then you'll be able to use the Oracle for map control. And then, if need be, send it back for defense. So, it's a pretty safe opener from Strange. Very standard.
Very standard. We often see the Oracle, which it will be. And whenever I see the Stargate opener, I just always want, if it heads on into the mid to late game, just make 1 Phoenix. I love seeing when players do kind of the Terran Viking to clean up Overlords, but it may cut into the army a little too much, or production, whatever, but whenever I see that, I always really want that to be the case, that eventually they will get a Phoenix out of that tech building, that Stargate. For now, though, it's just going to be pumping Oracles, and actually, Namshar spots this. His 3rd base, he does know it's coming. A Spore is almost up. Double Evolution Chamber. Sorry, not Double Evolution Chamber. Double Extractor goes up, and, I mean, pretty much, even though it forced out those 3 Spores, as you mentioned, Creature, Namshar is 100% prepared, and I'm not sure about this second Oracle. We'll see if we can get damage done with it.
Yeah, so far this Oracle has done absolutely nothing. He might be able to later on get some transferring drones. Usually, if the first Oracle doesn't do anything. Yep. Yeah, that's generally what you want to do when, your first Oracle has done absolutely nothing. And gets a 3 drone kills, not bad. Oh, and does he? No, he turned off his particle beam, so he was not able to get those drones. But, I would say for 2 Oracles, looks like only 3 drone kills. You kind of want to get more than that. So not the most successful opening, I would say, for Strange. And also getting the second Oracle, it delays his 3rd base even longer. So, it's not the end of the world for Strange, but he's definitely not feeling too comfortable right now after that opener.
No, not at all, and not only delaying that 3rd base, but we also see Blink in +1 attack going down, definitely kind of emulating or heading towards that baguette style, but with 300 gas on 2 Oracles, that slows it down a lot, especially when you're still maybe not necessarily not 100% sure what your opponent is doing, but especially when you don't have an exact read, okay, this is exactly what they're doing with those Oracles. For now, though, we do see a 4th base out of Namshar, and getting up to the Hydra, probably going to get +1 range for them. Yeah, we do see Groove Spines coming out, so for now, Namshar just trying to go against the Baguette Style. And actually, he's going to be able to catch one of these. If he went for the lower health. I think if he went for the lower health, he could have got it.
Definitely would have gotten that one. But, it's all going to be about Strange's positioning here. This is a pretty big Hydra attack coming in. He's got Hydra speed on the way, 12 Lings, 5 Hydras. But it's going to be all about the positioning here from Strange if he's to hold this cost effectively.
As you mentioned, Strange does have a fantastic force field. There's currently 9 sentries out. A lot of them have a decent amount of energy, so he should have the force fields. But on the other hand, there's just not that much DPS with the army. Blink is almost done, +1 is done for Strange, and he's got a DT Shrine on the way, but this army of Namshar is looking really strong against this composition.
Yep. And here, I'm really excited to see the force fields from Strange, because I know he's got some really good force fields, so... Yep. Namshar poking in a little bit, trying to get some damage done. So far, so good from Strange, not losing any units. So even after the bad opener so far, he's trained pretty well, and he's now got those 5 gateways operational.
Nice revelation.
Oh, yeah, you always want to keep track of the Zerg army. And pretty nice set of force fields. Zoning away those Hydras and Lings.
A lot of force fields used with that, and as you were saying with the Revelation, it's always very important, especially with Hydra Ling, just how fast it is to keep track. And I just want to point out at the 3rd base, not only are the force fields good, but the Sim City of Strange is phenomenal. Oh, there's no overseas with his main army.
Oh, yeah.
The DTs are actually getting a large amount of damage done here.
Yeah, these Hydras are just gonna, the DT's 2-shot Hydras, and oh my god, they're going down so fast. And yeah, this is kind of a disaster here for Namshar.
And with those Hydras, when that fight first commences and the DTs run in, you think, well, at least the Hydras, lots of DPS, maybe they can target down something, but there is Blink already done for Strange, just simply allowing him to, you know what, I almost didn't lose anything in that engagement, and now these DTs will hit into,
You did lose those 2 Oracles, yeah.
Yep.
So, not the biggest deal, but you still want to keep those Oracles alive, but not a game changer right there. Strange is still in a really good spot here. He's got +3 on the way, and Namshar, he's still yet to start an Infestation Pit, so he's kind of really committed to this Hydra Ling composition, which is not really what you want against, a Protoss now going on 4 bases, and he's got a Warp Prism on the way. He's going to get into that comfort zone, I feel like Strange is.
Definitely, especially with the 4th base on the way, and that's exactly what Namshar is going to try to deny here. There is the army actually of Namshar decides to pull back from that, and we just saw there is an Infestation Pit just on the way and a Roach Warren trying to mix in some more, but as you mentioned, Creature, maybe a little bit too late, and oh man, the army of Strange is going to be caught out of position, or technically the 3rd base is going to be caught out of position, and maybe this is Warp Prism even.
The scouting Warp Prism does scout it, so he is going to be able to move his army back in time. The Warp Prism did not go down for... Well, yeah, the Warp Prism didn't go down for nothing, so... And, decent time warp, slowing down the retreat of the Zerg. Oh, and he's got charge now, so it will be difficult for this Zerg army to get away. Decent force fields. We look at the unit slots tab, it's 7,500 minerals for the Zerg player, and only 4,000 for the Protoss. So Strange here has been, despite the bad openers, trading really cost efficiently.
Strange is definitely trading cost efficiently, and even though he's down a little bit in income, 1,800 minerals a minute to 24 to 2,300, he does have that 4th base, and that makes him equal almost pretty much for the Namshar here. Namshar can only take engagements, I feel like, when it's on his side of the map with beautiful concaves where he can reinforce as the battle goes on, and as you're saying, Strange is phenomenal blinks, phenomenal force fields, not killing too much, but really just negating the death of a lot of his units. Here's Namshar looking to take that 3rd base, and we see 48 Lings in the production tab. This is going to get some intense surrounds, and hey man, it works. There's no +1 melee. No, yeah, there's no +1 melee. There is the armor though, so.
So what Namshar is trying to do here is save gas up by making these Lings for his infestors, and looks like
Overseer goes down. The DTs are going to be able to do damage.
Yep, that is not good for Namshar. You want to have detection against DTs.
Namshar does a little bit of damage, does kill 8 workers, and kind of pulls the army of Stranger out of position. Actually, he could have maybe done something on the left-hand side of this army, was caught out of position, but now that it's joining, it just simply joins together into a phenomenal concave for Strange. Great force fields.
Man.
Pretty good Guardian Shields, but this is going to decimate the army. In Creature, what is this, like the second or third army that Strange just completely piled through?
Yeah, now let's look at the units lost tab now. 15,000 resources to 7,900. That is not what you want as a Zerg, or any player really. But yeah, I think Strange here is going to take this one home pretty soon. After, because you can't lose that many armies as a Zerg like that unless you've got an insane economy.
Exactly, and that is sadly not what Namshar has. In almost an insane economy, but against a 4-base Protoss also, it's not quite as good. Strange does snipe that 4th base, just getting into a better position. He's not here to kill drones, and there it is, GG! Strange takes game 1 in kind of a seemingly, I don't want to say it by any means it was Namshar's fault, but he kind of played into it. He lost the army, pulled back, and the Stranger's like, okay, cool, I killed an army. Let's take a 4th base and just get a nice army at myself.
Yeah, I think the turning point of that game was, Namshar losing his first Overseer and then having the DTs clean up that first wave of Hydras. Because, that was such a huge momentum shift for Strange, because then he was able to take his 4th base really easily. Get on that, really comfortable setup that a Protoss, like 4 base, you get out that Warp Prism. Even though he didn't do anything with the Warp Prism, you never want to lose